Too many retirements as yet. Certainly the Mason Morgan Commodore is off the lap charts, and I believe the Helms Bolland M3 has also disappeared. So it just looks like 2 retirements so far, and this looks like an unscheduled stop for the second place, Stefan Webbling.
Yeah, now they're not rushing to that back corner where the tyre damage was before, so just have to wait and see what the problem is there.
Team just having a chat to Stefan Webbling, so possibly mechanical dramas. That's going to move the Altherm up into the second position. A giant killing performance here. We're down in the pits with Andre Heimgartner.
Because you guys are putting in some really quick lap times and seem to be catching up slowly heading into the leaders 997 Porsche. So this must be a bit of a shame, so close to the end of the race.
Yeah, we're starting to catch up a bit, and I mean, the car felt good until one lap. The clutch just went straight to the floor, and then pulled it up with my foot and just wouldn't go back down. So, I mean, yeah, it is a bit of a shame, but, you know, we'll move on.
So Andre Heimgartner, a disappointment for the young lad who's in contention for the New Zealand Formula Ford Championship. So there's your race leader in the now 5th place, Craig Innes in the Ferrari F430, and he's going to mow down the 997 in heavy lap traffic, Minis, BMWs, and the Walden Evo. That was awkward for Pedersen down at turn number 2.
Yeah, and the Ferrari looks like it's got a lap back there, but geez, that's the sort of situation where it can all go horribly wrong.
The Life Pharmacy Porsche has got something in the equation of a 7-lap lead over the Altherm as the Bagnall brothers Mini pits. They've had a solid run throughout the day, so this isn't so much a battle for position because I think the Ferrari's still at least a couple of laps down, but they can unlap themselves here. Craig Innes is really flying towards the end of this race. And further problems here for the Mason Morgan Commodore. Now, I thought they'd retired a little bit earlier, but they've got back out on track, but that looks terminal for that race car. So there is the race leader with a 7-lap advantage over this car, Tony Head and Patrick Heagney in the Altherm. And a further lap back to the O'Connor Innes Ferrari with Innes at the wheel and motoring on down the road. About 3 to 4 seconds a lap quicker than this car is. Now it's Ant Pedersen's turn to strike problems in lap traffic. So there's the Goodwin Seeker just clearing one of the BMW E30s. That's the Alan Boosing car, and the Seeker's gone around in that manoeuvre. Neville Finlay just slips up the inside in the BMW Z3M Coupe. So these guys have had a solid run, but a little problem here. Going to try and rejoin. Just that spin, negotiating lap traffic, which we see so often in these endurance-style events. Such a the difference in lap times between the different classes of cars.
Yeah, and sometimes, Jamie, just at the end of a race and people start getting a little bit tired and they are kind of cruising to the finish, that's when mistakes can creep in.
So here's the Deveth Gill Evo. Now, this is a second stop, Boothie. The short Walden car only making 1 stop. Maybe they miscalculated their fuel run, and this is going to cost them a position. The short Walden Evo now will move through to 4th position.
Yeah, look, maybe they just miscalculated it at that last stop, or the drivers just haven't been as economical, or there could even be a little problem with the car, but all of this falls into the hands of this car, who now move up into 4th.
Yeah, and looking to tie up the Class 2 Championship, so it just looked like a splash and a go for the Deveth Gill Evo as the Seeker pits. Not too sure if that's scheduled. Looked to be coming in the pit lane pretty slowly.
Interestingly, on that last stop with the Gill car, as it was leaving, I didn't even see any fuel crew standing around, so maybe it wasn't fuel related. There may have been another issue with the car.
So, Ant Pedersen leads as Craig Innes cups back up to lap the Altherm again, and Boothie, every time we see these two guys, they're unlapping each other, but I think the Ferrari was the better part of about 4 laps down, and they are now 1 lap behind. Have they got enough time to get to the Altherm and up into the 2nd spot? But they are on the 3rd and final podium at the moment.
Yeah, this is a little bit like watching a replay, isn't it? But Craig Innes has certainly got his head down. I think it might have miscalculated before. They've still got another lap to go, and I don't think there's enough race left for them to do that.
So Ant Pedersen leads from the head. Heagney, Altherm, the O'Connor Innes Ferrari is in in third. The short Walden Evo is fourth. And with that late pit stop, the DeVeth Gill Evo drops into the fifth position. And a big run from David Gregor and Gavin Yorton, the Honda Integra. They are in the top six. Got problems down in the pits with Lindsay Goodwin.
Pulled in, you've got out of the car and got your helmet off. The problem's not too serious, I hope?
It's the oil leaking in the front of the engine onto the left rear tyre, so that's it for the day, I think. I had a bit of a spin down there and I thought the tyre had gone off, but no, it was oil leaking out of the front of the motor. So.
Well, that explains why the Saker went around. There is the race leader, Ant Pedersen, doing it very, very easily at the end of this race.
Ferrari back in the pits again.
So 5 minutes remaining. The F430's back in. Is that for fuel and maybe a splash and dash? So that's going to take the pressure off the second-placed head, Higney Altezza, and it is a splash and dash for the F430. I think Craig Innes might have been going a little bit too quick and using too much throttle.
The pace he's been pushing that car at, you can only do that by burning more fuel.
Well, he's got a good couple of laps up his sleeve ahead of the short Walden Mitsubishi Evo in that battle for third overall. So Craig Innes will rejoin. So the short and DeVeth Gill Evos are on the same lap in that battle for fourth and fifth as the Ferrari comes back out on track. The Helm Bolland M3 is also back out there, but probably the better part of 60 laps down on the race leader.
Just good to see them running after the dramas they've had throughout the day.
They certainly have had some issues. So there's Craig Innes. About 12 laps down on the race leader, and well, we got a bit of a territorial dispute out of the hairpin. That's the head, Higney Altezza, in second, and Neville Finley's BMW Z3M Coupe, and you can see the BMW with some damage to the front of that car. And is that a guard rubbing maybe left rear for the Altezza?
Yeah, definitely looked like a little bit of tyre rub on the Altezza there. Oh, look at the damage in the door. So been a big coming together there, and it's silly to be doing that sort of stuff late in the race. We've noticed, the Altezza's been so steady all day. The last couple of times we've seen it fighting with the Ferrari and so forth, it started to get a little bit ragged. I think they just need to put their head down because it's last lap time.
There's the last lap board. So Ant Pedersen will bring home the Life Pharmacy 997 to the line. The head, Higney Altezza, is able to continue. There it is, just in back of shot. So our top three cars all in shot there. The leading Porsche, the Ferrari, is third overall. So some dramas. You don't need that at the end of a 3-hour race.
No, that would be absolutely gutting for everyone involved if just on the last lap. Oh,
the Helms Bolland M3, not for the first time today, and it's a turn one yet again. So some dramas towards the end of this one, not certainly for the race leader Ant Pedersen, paired with Andy Bagnall in the Life Pharmacy Porsche 997. They are going to take it out and do 2 from 2 for the Altherm 1000 in the New Zealand Endurance Series. They take the victory here at Hampton Downs. Craig Innes crosses the line. He will finish in third and waiting for the head, Higney Altezza, to cross the line, which they do. So Bagnall and Pedersen with the victory. They take out the New Zealand Endurance Championship for 2011.
And well done, congratulations. Looked like you had your work cut out a couple of times.
It was a really easy race to be honest with you. A good friend of mine at uni says prior preparation prevents a piss poor performance, and so I've got to give it up to International Motorsport and the boys and Andrew. They did a good job and we prepared well and came away with the goods.
Yeah, it was pretty hot in that car and it was reasonably hard to hold a consistent pace because of the heat, but the boys back in the pit crew kept me informed as to how things were, and it was awesome.
So here's the overall points for the New Zealand Endurance Championship. The Bagnall Pedersen Porsche taking out overall ahead of the Higney head Altezza, with Jeff Short and Shane Walden taking out Class 2 from John DeVeth and Philip Gill.